Hello everybody, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. So this week we're looking at relationships, and yesterday I talked about the importance of our relationship with God being at the foundation of not only all of our relationships, but teaching us about relationships. Now here's the interesting thing. You take almost anybody, whether they know the Bible well or not, and you ask them how many commandments are in the 10 commandments. And I think most everyone will say 10. And if I hadn't given the answer away in the question, most would have said 10 anyway. Out of those 10 commandments, the first 4 all center on our relationship with God. The second set of 6 center on our relationships with each other. And it's that marriage of the relationship with God being a foundation, but then recognizing 60% of the commandments God gave in the 10 commandments dealt with how you and I relate to each other. So our relationship with each other is extremely important. And that exists in a number of different formats. It exists as friends and acquaintances. It exists as adversaries. It exists in our families. And I think we can all find folks that we say, it's easy to be in a relationship with her or him. Or it's hard to be in a relationship with her and him. Now, I can't fix anyone out there, but I can give you and me a couple of basics that will make all of our relationships more sound. Basic number 1. It's what Jesus taught his followers. It's called the Golden Rule. Jesus didn't devise this. If you read your Jewish rabbis of antiquity, this was a rabbinical saying in a little bit of an opposite manner. Jesus said to do to others, to treat others the way that you would like them to treat you. Now, the rabbinical saying that he was playing off of was the negative of that. It was, don't do to someone else what you don't want them to do to you. 2 sides of the same coin, 2 different ways of saying the same thing. But the premise behind that is the way we treat other people truly needs to be defined by the way we'd like them to treat us. Now, let me give you a second rule that's very close in hand with that. Paul said this to the Philippians. He said that we are to regard others as more important than ourselves. Now, that makes people recoil. But Paul's talking about humility. And we are to have in our relationships one of humility where we look not only to our own interests, but also to the interests of others. And that's what he's driving at. So if we take those 2, if we treat others the way we'd like to be treated, and we understand that we're going to look to their interest and look out for their best the same way we do our own, our relationships are set to soar. Now, there are still problem people, and I'll talk about them tomorrow. But this is enough for your video thought for today.